luck with that. Now we're going to meet a very special lady, Tanya Bannister. Tanya has undergone more operations and treatments than it is possible to imagine. Despite being diabetic, having cancer, undergoing organ transplants, contracting a hospital superbug, you name it, Tanya has remained an inspiration to her family and her friends.
From the outside, Tanya Bannister looks like any normal, healthy 40-year-old. But her bright smile disguises the extreme physical trauma her body has suffered over the last 7 years, whilst battling diabetes, organ failure, cancer and hospital superbugs.
Tanya was a beautiful baby, really beautiful. She's always smiling. She's absolutely adorable. She'd do anything for anybody. She became diabetic when she was 11. Poor thing, it was Good Friday when she was taken into hospital. So, of course, 3 days later it was Easter egg time, wasn't it? And she couldn't have any, so she couldn't understand that. But I think we were such a lucky family, to be honest, because nobody had ever really been ill.
But that all changed in 2000 when Tanya's older sister Karen was diagnosed with a brain tumour. Tanya relocated to Worthing from Devon to be near her during her illness. In 2002, Karen lost her battle with cancer, and later that same year Tanya was diagnosed with kidney failure and put on dialysis.
The doctors felt that the stress of losing my sister had brought on the kidney failure a lot sooner than it should have. At the end of the day, I couldn't have done what I've done over the last months without feeling that my sister's been beside me the whole time.
They became very close when Karen became ill. And that's just the type of person she is, you know, she was needed, so that was it.
I had a choice. I had a choice to fight and to survive. My sister was never given that choice. And I watched her battle her cancer for 2.5 years, and I saw her strength. And that gave me the strength to fight.
After her kidneys failed, the family then had to wait to see if she would be accepted for a transplant.
She was eventually accepted onto the transplant list. We were all absolutely thrilled when, you know, this happened, obviously. After about 2 years, I think it was, she became poorly. We didn't know what was wrong with her. It turned out that it was a cancer in the stomach.
After a long and painful period of chemotherapy and drug treatments, Tanya finally recovered.
She was accepted, luckily, back onto the transplant list after 2 years. 8 months later, she got the call for the transplant. The operation was a success, and she was ready to come home after just a fortnight too, which was absolutely fantastic.
But exactly 2 weeks after the transplant, she was taken back down to theatre where the wound was reopened, and she was diagnosed with the hospital bug MRSA.
In the next 10 weeks, she had 9 operations. So she just had this open wound, in a huge open wound in her stomach.
She spent the next 3.5 months in hospital, but eventually her wound healed enough to be sewn up. Tanya started a new life on that day at the end of August 2006.
She's been through a tremendous amount, and she's always got a smile, but she's been through so much.
The way Tanya has coped with her illness has brought her and her mother much closer together.
We get to see each other most days. We get on extremely, extremely well. Sometimes I think we're more like sisters than mother and daughter in some ways, where we joke and laugh and have a giggle. An average day, I usually don't get out of bed much before 10 o'clock because I need a lot of sleep and I just can't drag myself out of bed. I do feel on certain days that I've got nothing to get up for as well. But I'll get up, go and get washed, sit down and have a few minutes rest to get my breath back.
But one thing that does motivate her to get up is her part-time job as a dinner lady at the local school for a couple of hours every weekday lunchtime.
The school is a bit of a lifesaver for me because it's one of the things that gets me out. Otherwise I tend to just sit in and dwell on things and think about things. I adore all the children, think the world of all of them. Missed them like crazy when I was off sick for the year.
Hello.
Mum comes and helps me a lot with the housework because I just can't manage it. It absolutely exhausts me just hoovering the lounge.
Like even making the bed. Yes, she'll make the bed, but then she's got to sit down for 10, 15 minutes afterwards, you know, before attempting to do anything else, and then she'll get up and do something else, you know, and so that it's permanently that she's got to rest.
In the end, I started going round to Mum's every day, and just going and sitting around in her garden maybe, and in the very little nice weather that we had.
She's got a lovely partner, Steve. When she first met him, she was literally just getting over the cancer. She wasn't exactly bald, but her hair was only just starting to grow back, you know, and he's always been there for her.
I will never be completely better. I've only got 30% function in the new kidney. So there is going to come a point, probably sooner rather than later, that I need another kidney transplant. But there's always someone worse off than you. And that's what you have to remember. So.
She just deserves everything. I want to give her everything there is, because I think she's been through so much. She's had so much pain, and I just think if I could give her the world, I'd give her the world.
Wow.
Well, we're very, very pleased to have you here, both Tanya and Kay. And Kay, you said you wanted to give her the world. I mean, as a mum, you've lost one daughter and you've seen another suffer, and you've given so much love, and you have a lot of love around you, Tanya, and
Yes,
I know you
I do.
share a lot with others as well. Thank you for being here today, because
Thank
as
you
we know,
for
it
having
takes a lot out of you. And your immune system is now so very depressed that you've got to be very careful with anyone who has coughs and colds and sneezes. And how does that work when you go to school and you're with the children?
I'm not sure. I've been very fortunate. I went back last December, and touch wood, I've not caught any germs or anything yet.
Amazing, isn't
So,
it? And
you,
your health...
you can't live your life in a bubble anyway.
No, you've got to live life, you're right. How are you now at the moment?
I'm getting better day by day. I still have very bad days, especially very low days, sometimes more than anything. But every day is an improvement. So.
How was your weekend? Did you have a nice weekend?
Absolutely.
We sent you to Cricket St Thomas, didn't we? And you had a nice time?
Absolutely fantastic.
Weather was good?
Yes.
Bit of a pamper, bit of a relax. Oh, look at that. There you are.
was fantastic.
So we were filming you whilst you were there. Look at that.
Yes.
What a view. And look, massages,
Treatments.
the whole thing. So, I mean, obviously you must have thought...
Look at that.
My new best friend.
Yeah, really?
That's Debs.
Debs.
What
Debs
is
the
Debs?
tapir.
Debs the
Look like a
tapir, that's
tapir.
Oh, tapir. Oh,
Yes.
nice.
So you had a great time. You must have thought they're very generous people, aren't they?
Yes.
This morning crowd sending us
Yeah.
away. We did have an ulterior motive for sending you away. I want to show you a shot of something. Now, can I just? Do you recognise that number?
Yes.
Yes. Maybe if we come out wider. So what's that? Would that be your house by any chance?
That would be Alison Hammond stood outside
That's
my house.
Alison Hammond and David Dominey who are standing outside your house. Guys, what you doing?
Well, we just thought, a deserving lady such as Tanya deserves a garden makeover. So we've got Dave and his team doing just that. We've been here all weekend. David, what have you been up to?
We've
Look?
grafted, we've ripped out that old lawn, all that rubbish in the back garden, those tyres, all those winches, all the other stuff, that has been cleared out, and there's some cracking little numbers going in there to brighten up and make it look great.
But it's going to
Sounds
be
good to
nice, easy maintenance because we're saying that it has to be easy to look after.
Yes, it is, and we've got some great tricks of the trade to make gardening minimum work but maximum effect. I'll just get this plant put in there. Sorry, Alison.
We can see your next door neighbours there. Just pan over to the left.
Yeah, they're over there.
Oh, they've just gone in. That's a shame.
They're coming out and say hello to Philip and Fern. Give us
Hello.
a wave. There they are.
Hi there.
Give
We've
them
got the
a
whole
wave.
street out now.
Lovely.
Terrific.
Got all the neighbours out.
Right,
It's
we'll
fantastic.
be back later to have a walk around the new garden, shall we? Thanks, Alison. Thank you
See
very
you
much
later.
indeed. Bye, darling, bye. So you left your house on Friday
Yeah.
and you were told very firmly, no, just bring everything, just leave. Then we'll go to London, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And we were doing everything. We've looked through your knicker drawer. No, we So will you stay? Because later on in the show, David and Alison will be there and they will show you exactly what they've done.
Lovely.
Wow. Sit out and get some fresh air in beautiful surroundings.
Okay.
Lovely.
I'll see you in a
thank
bit.
you.
Thank you
See you
both.
in a bit.
Very much indeed.
Coming up next, he describes himself as the most demanding boss ever, with a mean temper. Pete Burns on his search for a personal assistant. Will they come out dead or alive when they have to organise his flamboyant wedding?
And later attacked by sharks, fending off pirates and nearly capsized by a whale. How this man kayaked, biked and rollerbladed his way around the world. It took 13 years, but now he's home. His story coming up later. Back in a minute.